Hello, everybody. I want to talk quick about one thing, and this might make sense to a lot of people. A lot of people might agree with it, and that is mutual respect. I work in retail, I deal with the public on a daily basis, and for one thing, I drives me up a wall is the amount of people that come in and look down at people who are in, behind the counter, anyone who's a cashier or makes food for people, or even you know whatever it might be, that they're an employee of a retail store of some sort, or work with the public at all, is they look down on these people and treat them like total garbage. For instance, there's a elderly couple that comes in the store I work at. Now, honestly, I show them respect every time they come in because I was raised, treat your elders with respect. Okay, that only goes so far. Now, this elderly couple comes in every single day, just about. And these people are the most entitled assholes you will ever get in a store. Every day they have to front of the line every time. If they're not at the front of the line, they pitch a fit. The other day, the wife is up at the front of the line. Now, I'll explain this scenario to you. The husband and the wife never check out at the same time. The wife checks out probably first, 90% of the time. The husband, the other 5% of the time, he's first. If he's not getting himself something hot to eat. They come into the store, and now she's up at the front of the line. There's two people behind her, and behind them is her husband. And he's sitting there bitching and complaining because the two people that I'm working with, one being the assistant manager, the other one being a key holder, they're sitting there on the floor working on the safe. The one is training the other. Mind you that the assistant manager is a new assistant manager. She's being trained by the key holder. So they're working on the safe, and I'm dealing with customers. Now, he's at the back of the line, bitching and complaining because they aren't getting up and helping, all these other customers get out of the way. They're not helping because they're doing something. They're doing something that they can't stop doing once they start. When you're working on the safe, you can't just up and stop what you're doing and help people because the safe's going to be left open, which is a risk for not only us, but for them. So, I'm waiting on this line. I'm getting through it as fast as I can. Granted, the wife is at the front of the line. She's being a typical bitch, as usual. Griping because I did this wrong and I did that wrong. And making the line even longer now because customers are still coming into the store and leaving. Finally, the key holder notices that this is going on. The assistant manager is comfortable at this point with the safe, so she gets up and helps me. At this point, the husband commences to make the comment, "It's about goddamn time that bitch gets up." Which, honestly, I was always raised to treat women with respect. Don't talk down to them. Don't, be disrespectful. kind of irritated me because the key holder is a good friend of mine. At the same time, you know, there's camaraderie between us all the time. Well, anyway, so I start getting a little bit more hostile. And by that, I mean my attitude changes from me being friendly to me being snarky. And so when the wife finally gets done with her bitch fit and leaves, and I help the next two customers, followed by the husband, who comes up and he commences to make a smart ass remark to me. I looked at him, I said, because he was getting lottery. I looked at him, I said, let me ask you a question. He goes, what's that? I said, so we're essential employees, correct? Is lottery essential? And he goes, no, not really. I said, okay, well then I don't have to give you lottery because it's not essential. I said, unless you go over there and apologize to her, I'm not going to give you lottery because that's the benefit of my job. Benefit of my job is I can refuse service. And it's not just for me, it's for both of the ladies that are working back here. You either show the young lady who you just disrespected by calling a bitch some respect, or you may leave. Of course, he did not like this very much and commenced to start griping about it. I looked at him, I just went, sir, I don't care if you like it or not. You want respect, you need to give it in return. So my lesson for the day for everybody is if you're willing to give respect, that's when it should be shown. If you aren't willing to show respect, then you don't deserve that respect. Whether it's in a public place where you're hanging out with friends and trying to impress people, or if you're in a grocery store getting waited on by a cashier or some sort of retail worker, you should always show respect. Plain and simple. If you can't respect them, then they can't respect you. As I was always taught when I was growing up, you want respect, you need to earn it. Simplest way to earn it is to be nice to people. What's so hard with that concept? Just use your freaking head. Stop acting like people just need to stop acting like total jackasses. And with that, I say, everybody have a nice day, and talk to you later.